See.
Drop.
Is this the fucking mic?
Drop.
This is exactly what I should be doing.
Hi.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead. Joining me, as always, is Dave Koss. Joining us this week is an empty chair that used to be Andrey Lebrov.
He'll be back in a second.
He'll be back.
If you are just joining us on The Drop only, this is part of our regular podcast, the Mograph podcast. Andrey is using the restroom. We've been talking for hours. And we're going to talk about some NFT stuff now. And so we'll start going over this before he gets back. Number one, the Dead Mouse collection is out.
Wow.
And I do not know. I went through the motions. I did the thing. It said it was good. And now I don't know what to do.
It should be in your MetaMask. Look in your MetaMask.
Where would I see it in my MetaMask? Because
Click on your MetaMask and then go. No, never mind. Where is it?
It said I was supposed to see it after that, and I did it, and I went through the motions. It still says I own Matic. I did.
Do you okay? Do you have it on your phone?
It says already claimed, so it sounds like it's claimed.
Okay.
I just don't know where to see it.
Go to OpenSea and connect your MetaMask wallet. It should be in there.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Even knowing,
I know.
Even knowing about NFTs. I think this is something that is going to work itself out. This is a great topic of conversation, is that it is complicated. So,
Yes.
for example, many of you probably know that Beeple was on Jimmy Fallon this week, right? And Jimmy Fallon said, I bought myself a Bored Ape. And it's like, okay, do you think that Fallon figured all of this out himself?
Yeah.
Or did somebody show him
He
how to
seemed
do it?
very confused about what it was called, so I'm going to he hesitated a bit when he was saying he bought a Bored Ape.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure he just called up his broker and was like, "Hey, buy me a Bored Ape."
Yep. So he went through the motions,
Mm-hmm.
and I think what has to be fixed in order for people to really be able to do something like this is there has to be some sort of streamlined process, some normalization, some standards that are set, everything so that your grandma can buy an NFT.
Yeah.
It is not to that point because, for example,
The amount of work that you had to go through just to be able to mint this thing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not that I don't understand it. It's that you have to be ready for it. It's like, oh, I have to buy this at 1 o'clock today. I have to move money around. I have to do this thing. I have to check the gas fees, and then I want to do it.
Gas
some
fees are
Polygon.
expensive.
Yeah, all of that, right? So it's just such a hassle, and I don't know what to. Even right now, it's like, okay, now you go to check OpenSea. I'm trying to connect my wallet. It's not doing anything. And I'm trying to do a show, so I'm just going to ignore it for now and hope that I got my...
I'm sure you got one.
It said already claimed, so I think it worked. I think it went through. I just don't know where to see it. And even with, like, Nick Smearballs, he's the one who put this whole thing together. He did a freaking fantastic job.
Dude,
Like,
I am... What's crazy, so I went on to OpenSea to see the ones that have already been purchased by people, you know? And so, like, just seeing it on OpenSea, it's gorgeous. The work is excellent, you know. But you click on one of the items, and what's interesting is they don't show you the image of the picture. They show you the GTLF or whatever, GTFL or whatever, the 3D one that you can spin around and look at. But then you've also got a still image that's super high resolution, you know, that looks really nice. Yeah.
So he did these renders in Octane. I'm assuming we can talk about this. He popped in our Discord the other day, and he kind of gave us a rundown on what he did. And I'm like, look, you've got to come on the show and talk about this in detail because it is so cool. But what he's doing is he did the renders for these individual pieces in Octane. But also he used this special software that did these down conversions and polygons and still made them look good. You know, so that you would get this GTL, what I call it, the GTFO file.
Yeah, the GTFO.
The GTFO file, where you have access to the 3D version of that, and you can bring that into the metaverse, and you can use it as a game character or whatever that is, right? Like, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it right now. I know I'd probably use it later for something, but I love where this is going, and I love the way he put it together. He really thought it out and really went through to make sure that there weren't any issues like with mechas, right? Where things like look too similar, or certain pieces or backgrounds don't go with each other correctly, all of that. So he just did an absolutely great job, and he put a great article together on Medium about how to go through the process, and it stepped me through it, and it was great. But still, even with all of that, it's like, this was so complicated.
It's such a pain. Yeah, it's such a pain.
Yeah.
And I bought, that's why I was really excited when Render announced that they were moving to Solana, because Solana was easy. Solana, buying stuff, like I bought the Bone World stuff on Solana, and that was so simple, because I went onto Coinbase, I bought some Solana, I transferred it to my Phantom wallet, for next to nothing, and then I was able to purchase. That's nice. That was very nice. But
yeah,
Dave, I'm looking on your wallet right now. I don't see anything.
I don't see it. But it says I claimed it, so it's somewhere. I don't know. I'll figure it out after the show.
Somewhere.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Why?
Yeah.
All right.
Check your wallet. See if you've got money. Did it take your money?
But that's what I was saying. I kept running it. It still says I have Matic.
Well, yeah, Matic. But do you have?
But I thought that was supposed
wrapped
to.
ETH.
I mean, I did all of it, and I did it, and it said that the transaction was completed.
Okay.
And then I was supposed to see it after that, and then I ran it again. I don't know. Could have been an error, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, this process isn't ready. Where is all of this going to come when everything normalizes? When NFTs are?
I don't think the process is that bad, to be honest. I feel like there's a question in the chat. Like, do you have to have like a good work, or have to be popular to be able to sell? That's a good question in my opinion.
I think the people who are successful in NFTs are the ones who are very much a part of the community, of the NFT community.
Absolutely.
Who are what, like, and that was a big thing, back in February, March, when people within our industry were like, oh, I can sell my artwork finally, awesome, and make some money off of it. Let's do it. It was the people who continued to stay in that group, in that community, instead of just looking for a quick buck, who ended up becoming really successful in that space. I think
you have to market yourself, and that's tough to do. We always talk about, gimmicks help. A lot of people have done these little gimmicks and physical pieces, and that helps. And it's like you're either going to do that and you're really going to push your own marketing, or you're already famous. Let's be honest. If you're already famous, it's easy.
Yeah.
Even famous have to put some presentation into it. Absolutely. I think it's all about presentation. It was, at some point, it was all about hype. I mean, it's controversial works that attracted like huge, humongous money, right? We all know what I'm talking about. But then there are stories and presentations about like Beeple. He have an obvious story, right? He didn't have to necessarily put a presentation together, but there's a story, there's background. He is the presentation himself. And now I think hype is gone, right? And NFT is not only for individuals. We see teams collaborating, putting like that thing you mentioned, deadmau5. Put a collection of those deadmau5, 5,000 variations, avatars, whatever. They're not the only ones doing that. If you would Google, there will be a lot of collections of those avatars out there, and it's teams collaborating. Businesses are going into NFTs, and it's a really interesting future around it. So, like with any work, like back in the days, you had to put a good, and still do have to put a good presentation around your work on Behance, for example, where you describe your project, your work that you've done, a case study, right? You have to explain it to audience. Same with the drops, same with NFTs. You have to explain why collectioner, whatever, have to buy your work. For example, I sold 2 NFTs. but I didn't market it. I didn't put a presentation. It was just out there. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. It just did.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have them
science,
on what is it on?
Foundation,
right?
Oh, Foundation, yeah. Simon, after our interview, he invited me on Foundation. I've put some works up. One went in about a month time. I didn't market it. Just some random dude just bought it.
Yeah.
And then the second one, as far as I know, it was again because of Simon. He told someone about me. So that's how it went. And yeah, so sometimes it works like that, but most of the time you have to put work into presentation.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
And you've got some of them up right now. In fact, I'll just bring this up right here so you can see. So which one's this is the one that I love, this Halloween one you did.
Yes, so Pumpkin went, and then the sphere was from one of my first videos on YouTube. It's a loop.
That looks great, man.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, merci.
Did you do ZBrush for the pumpkin on that?
No, I bought it on TurboSquid and then rigged it for animation.
Nice.
And then the sphere as well.
Yeah.
Is this was related? Was this related to one of your tutorials with the road? Okay.
Yeah. Texture tutorial.
Yeah, that's a big one. All right, let me go back in my notes here, because there's a couple other random things that happened this week as well.
Yeah, the biggest news is Hicken Yuck that I like to. It's just gone.
It's gone.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It like became one of the most popular, Tezos marketplaces, and like everyone was using it, and then all of a sudden, just gone. It's just gone. It's
now,
like
there's a copycat site or a clone site of it, right?
Yeah, but like, what about all the people who like posted stuff on there? I mean, I don't know. I'm confused about it, but man, it's crazy. It's crazy that it's just gone. Like, I've never heard of that happening before. I've heard of like rug pulls and stuff like that with people doing collections, but like for a whole site just to be gone, a whole marketplace. I don't know.
That's the problem that you run up against. These sites come up and you're like, okay, well, how much should I put into this? How much effort should I put into this site if everybody could just disappear at any given time?
Right. Like Tokyo Megaplex was doing, like, he started doing this whole collection of things that he was, putting up there and selling them and stuff. And it's like,
somebody made a joke that Tokyo Meg should actually just take over. They should just give the site to him and let him do it. They
should, yeah.
I forget who that was that said that, but
that's funny.
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't heard much info on that. It just kind of came up, and nobody seemed to have any info as why.
Yeah.
So maybe something has happened since I read that in the last couple days, but that's all I know about it. So
yeah,
if anybody has any more info, let us know. The other thing is Render token.
Gosh, Render, man, Render is on fire. It's so funny. So like after selling my Beeple piece and like keeping track of stuff is like, okay, my taxes are going to be a lot. So I put some money aside for my taxes, and I just put it in like a small investment account to let it, gain a little bit of interest to help me cover my taxes. And I was like, about a month ago, I was like, Render's pretty stable right now. I wonder if I could throw all that into Render and just, see if it goes anywhere. Because it was about like 89 cents. It was hovering between 89 cents and $1 and stuff like that. And I was like, I wonder if it'll go anywhere. Had I done that, I would have quadrupled my money over the past like week and a half, which would have been awesome. Hindsight.
Is that on Render?
That is Render, yeah. So the Render tokens right now, like it was 89 cents. It's up to $4.77, which is crazy. I think this big announcement moving over to Solana and stuff has really helped, as well as I think they got on another marketplace. I'm hoping that this like really grabs some attention from like Coinbase and stuff like that, and they can get onto Coinbase. That'll make things a lot easier within the Render world, being able to buy and sell on Coinbase. But right now, with the price that it is, So you can buy 4 render tokens.
Yeah, explain
for
this.
one. Okay, so it's funny. So if you're set up as a render node, which I am, and I've got 3 different computers that can render on the render network all at the same time, right? So if you're set up as a render node, like right now, I can go onto the render site, submit a job, and say it costs me €1. So I spend, €1 to get 4 render tokens, which is technically the equivalent right now of like almost $20, right? So if that job gets sent to me and I get paid back 1 render token, then I basically make money off of it. So it's interesting. I'm sure they're going to adjust the scale, eventually to adjust for render token payouts and stuff like that. They're probably going to lower the render token payouts, but it'll be right now it's pretty awesome. Now, as far as investing, this is not financial advice or whatever, because it's at an all-time high. $4. It hit $5 earlier today, like just a little bit ago, which is absolutely insane to me. Just gotta have it hit $730, and then I'm a millionaire.
There you go.
Who knows? It may.
Believe
very strongly in render.
There's talk in the chat too about setting up a node, and there's just been so much chatter. Apparently,
as of right now, there are. Yeah, there's. I mean, I got lucky because I know a bunch of the devs and stuff like that. I was like, hey, hook me up, and so they hooked me up, right? But it's like right now there's an abundance of nodes, so really like there's more nodes than actual render jobs right now. But what I can see in the future happening is render's a really solid platform that I think won't just be used for rendering frames anymore. That's what I would like to see.
Overall, render is a fantastic idea, and there's a bigger vision of the CEO of Otoy, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great future, and I believe, even though I basically stopped using Octane, still it's a great future for the whole company, and that render in particular, the process of getting jobs to the network is getting more streamlined. Thanks to people like Dino, who programmed that thing to export ORBXs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, I'm actually surprised it didn't take off and there are not as many jobs on the network, But then it also comes to the limitations of Cinema 4D again. Because I read some stuff that developers of the plugins for Cinema 4D are saying, and there are some things that can't be baked because of the Cinema, not Octane, to ORBX. I made a tutorial, a big one, about baking particles to Alembics and then exporting to render network. It's all a big additional hassle, but once that's sorted, I think it's a fantastic tool. You literally need, that work I did with the paper castle and wrapping.
Mm-hmm.
That was all made.
Oh
my God, Dave!
I see that one.
It basically was fully developed on a Razer laptop. Right, and then rendered the final ones on Render Farm, the local one that we had in the company. But with the working concept like Render Network, you could only have a laptop and be a fully functioning badass artist on the go.
Mm-hmm.
You just develop the project on your really capable laptop, then send it to Render. And that's it. You're done. Your super big budget production is done.
Yeah.
Is this the one?
I think the one here? I think right now, with the right now you're just able to render Octane jobs and stuff like that. But it's in their pipeline or in their plan to eventually bring on Arnold renderer, and I'm sure Redshift is just behind that. And anything that that's a Hydra delegate, will be able to be rendered on Render, which is insane to me. It's like that's the future, decentralization of the rendering and paying people to do it. That is the future of this.
Just be another kernel, right? Just be another drop down. Yeah.
Yep. and you can mix and match. And like Bobby was saying in the chat, render integrating C++ and OSL shaders into Solana NFTs. That's going to be huge. That's going to be a huge thing.
Gamification of NFTs. Oh man,
absolutely. The gamification of NFTs, like that is going to be that's like POC level stuff, you know, for us newbies who don't, you know, get into that stuff. But being able to write OSL shaders in C++ directly into like say C4D or into your Orbex file, and then be able to render all those on the render network and they adjust with it. That's gonna be killer. I can't wait. Yeah. So
that's so exciting and depressive at the same time. To be honest. I feel a bit left out. I used to know everything about Octane, and now, you know, I'm just starting to feel like, missing out on things.
Yeah.
I think it was Vernon we were talking to in the Discord who had the other day, who had gone away from Octane, went to Redshift for a while, and now I'm back in Octane. He's like, wow, there's so much more here now.
There is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so much more developed, and the auto is actually listening to
absolutely
to people. They're integrating all of it. Like Aces is not working properly. Here you go. Fix.
Yeah.
Features like crazy.
I think after version 3, there was like a lot of anger after version 3, because I feel like we expected a whole lot more, you know, and we had Jules on the show a little bit after that, and we kind of, you know, I feel bad, but we kind of, you know, got onto him about some of this stuff, and since then he's been extremely active, you know, in our community, in the whole community, you know. He's a great guy, and I'm super happy that he is so active, you know. Being able to see that from a CEO and stuff like that is very, very cool.
And I'm excited to talk to him about NFTs in a couple weeks when he's on the show.
Yeah.
Because man, that conversation, the metaverse, all of that, gosh, that's gonna be a fun convo.
Yeah, it will be.
I have the question that I saved from the very beginning of the show. Question for you, Andrey, is how much change do you think the metaverse will have on traditional 2D and 3D digital media? Will there be a huge shift from showcasing our work on monitors to VR headsets or what have you?
Wow. I don't know. It's hard to say. There are so many of those metaverses, and it's really confusing topic since VR headsets became a thing. It's really
what do you
confusing.
think of the metaverse, though? Like in general, I guess would be, you know, a good way.
Well, something like Ready Player One would be amazing, obviously, but I'm not seeing it working unless something like light fields would become a thing.
Yeah.
For something like light fields to become a thing, we need something like render network to bloody function on its full potential, and it's basically the base of Jules' vision for the future.
Right.
And for me, ever since VR headsets became a thing, it's not for me. I don't want to wear anything on my head. I feel discomfort even now with the headphones on my head, but with the VR headset, it goes even further. I feel sick. I was one of the first ones to buy those expensive, not HTC. Who was the first
Vive?
Vive, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought the first one, was super excited, but the only thing I didn't feel sick of was the Google Earth thing. Where you could actually control, see where you're going, and it's not, moving. So your, don't know the English words, but your subconscious, whatever, knows and predicts the environment. But if it's a space shooter, and there's that
the thing is moving around, your
inner ear gets between what you're seeing and what you're feeling, I feel like, no, please don't stop it.
Yeah, that whatever that is in your inner ear that connects to your brain. That
exactly, I feel physically sick. So there is no metaverse for me unless this little thing is sorted, and stuff like light fields and those panels, like holographic basically panels.
The holographic panels are going to be insane. I can't wait for that.
You can turn your room into the streaming sort of holodeck.
Yeah.
Basically, and if it will become, if everyone would be able to afford it, if it would become consumer-friendly installation and all the logistics behind it, then we can talk about metaverse, and then we can talk about changing the traditional ways of showcasing our works. But in terms of artists, everyone's already ready for it. I mean, all that NFT stuff, it's going there. I mean, Nike and companies like that starting to design virtual shoes. Why is that for? Yeah. We know what you're up to, Nike.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
That's funny.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Facebook really is going to be the pioneer that they think they're going to be in that field,
sure hope they're not.
We'll see. We'll see.
I read I saw an interesting article the other day talking about why Facebook is going to fail at the metaverse. It's because they are so, like, they want you to sign up. There's no free when it comes to Facebook. Like, you have to sign up and be a part and be tracked by them at all times if you're going to use their metaverse, or their products.
Who was I talking to? Was it Dryzen? Who was I talking to the other day?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I remember. I don't remember
Thomas. We were talking in the Discord about if you get a Facebook violation. Let's say you get in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
For a couple days, you can't do anything with your Oculus Rift account.
Yeah, just so stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't access all your games you paid for anymore. Sorry. Like, is that where we're going with that? Like, I just don't feel like. I don't know. I don't feel like the metaverse is going to be
I
Facebook.
feel like once Zuckerberg's out of there, I feel like Facebook could be a better place. If they'd stop it with the algorithmic, timeline, and Zuckerberg was gone. I don't know. Anyway, he's a robot.
Did you see that clip? Where he said, I used to be a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a human.
I mean, I am a human.
I am a human.
There's a lot of negativity around Facebook. I'm not that deep into news, but I hear bad things all the time.
Oh man, it's so bad in the U.S. too. Like, because the algorithms determine what will drive your
engagement. And that's anger.
And that's anger. Yeah. So you just get and then you get a bunch of troll farms on Facebook who are just trying to push more disinformation in order to either
anger you so that you engage more.
Yeah.
Right?
In Western countries and cultures these days, you have to be careful about what you're saying. Like, overall, just be careful with how you formulate your thought.
Yeah.
I think, I know what you mean with Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Let's switch gears real quick.
Yeah, let's
Matt,
go over to the main
week's
drops. Let's go to this week's drops.
Yeah, let's do that.
We've got a few for Nifty Gateway. They didn't have the whole week. They stopped at the 18th. Like I said, I don't like the way they're doing drop schedules now. I wish I had all of them, but maybe eventually we'll do 2 episodes of the drop per week.
Oh, okay, sure we will.
Once we're doing Mograph full time, sure. Let's do that. So we'll start off with Nifty Gateway. The first one, Andrea Bonacito will be doing a drop. This one's tonight, which is cool. I like their work. Very vivid, super pretty, very colorful, really cool looking stuff. I really like that. So I think there's a collector's drawing, and then another open edition, and then a ranked auction. Oh, 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's cool. I like those ranked
starts
auctions.
30 minutes early, so it's 5:30 Central.
Yeah. Cool. So that's that one, and then Glenn Wexler is doing one called Impossible Realities, which I think is really cool. I really like that Ring of Fire one. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. So there's a few some neat work from there. Next up on the 16th tomorrow, artist by the name of Vex. Oh yeah, super neat stuff. Very illustrative and stuff. Really cool looking stuff. I like it. So
Is that a?
Yeah.
Is that a? It's not a Houdini reference, is it?
What?
Vex. That's 2 X's,
Oh,
though, I guess not.
I have no idea. No. Next up on the 17th, Trevor Jones is doing a collaboration with Ice Cube, which I think is really interesting. Trevor Jones, I'm mad at myself because I bought a Trevor Jones at one point, and I freaked out and panicked, and then tried to sell it, and like ended up making like $1 off of it. And if I would have held on to it for a couple months, it would have gone up to $4,000. You know. So.
Hindsight,
yeah.
right?
Well, Trevor Jones had some interesting things with man, that tracking on that is terrible. I mean, we know how the sauce
is made.
Jeez,
Yeah.
like, come on, just get some mocha up there. Just motion track it. Anyway, I mean, I got a tutorial about that from like years ago. Come on.
Hand-tracked, artisan hand-tracked.
Yeah. Anyway, Trevor Jones and Ice Cube, that one is on the 17th. On the 18th, Fabrizio Plessi is doing a drop. Oh, this one was cool.
Is this a projection map?
It's called, I don't know. It's called The Golden Age. It's a series of 5 digital artworks leveraging NFTs. So I'm not sure 100% what it's about, but I did see the projection mapping, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Interesting stuff. Next one is Lefty Out There is doing a drop on the 18th as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this was just the website. Neat looking stuff. Reminds me of the what's that artist from the 90s? Anyway, neat looking stuff. I don't know what the drop is going to be. You know what it's going to look like. So interested to see. So cool work though. Next up, we've got Maker's Place tomorrow on the 16th. Bert Musketon, I believe. Cool, like little pop culture type things, references to pop culture and stuff.
Oh, that's the alien from
from
that one movie.
Yeah, that one movie. So love the TikTok stuff. That's funny.
Oh, nice.
Better Call Saul.
So
right
taking my TikTok pills.
Right. Neat stuff from pop culture. Next one on the 17th, Frank Frazetta is doing a drop called Heroines of Frazetta. This one, Frank is there's some nudity there. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I should have said something.
Whoops.
But Frank is like a very well-known fantasy artist, been around for a while, who's done a lot of these fantasy art type things. So super cool. On the 18th, Javu Erez and Marca, I believe, are doing a thing together called We Are the Champions, celebrating different like sports things and stuff like that. I really like it. I love the illustrative look of everything. So super cool looking stuff.
I like the little arcade thingies. That's cool.
Yeah. Really neat. Very detailed. I like that. So that's all I've got for the drops for this week. For community drops, Billy Gurnge is going to be doing another drop sometime this week. He wouldn't give me any information at all. Information.
But his super rare drop was great. We were all on the Discord cheering him on.
Yeah, it was super cool. So last week he did his super rare drop, and it ended up getting to 11 ETH, which was super cool. So congrats to Billy on that one. Very, very cool. And then I don't know if we mentioned it, but Ryan Talbot also sold another one of his pieces along with his series of stuff. I believe it was $55,000 or something. I don't know how much that was in ETH, but that's pretty cool. And then huge shout out to Beeple. Congrats, Beeple, for not only Jimmy Fallon but also selling Human One. It was $29 million, I believe, for Human One after fees and all that stuff. So that was really cool. I was watching that live while I was away checking out a camp for Camp Mograph. It's cool. Dave, I put a link in the chat. I don't know if you want to look at it, but that's the OpenSea link for some of the Smearballs Deadmau5 collabs. If you want to take a look at it, you can scroll down all the way to the bottom and see some of the ones that people have already bought.
See how it looks.
Yeah, because Smearballs did a great job. Like it's typical Smearballs, fashion. They look really, really good, and I love that you can see both the.
Every single one of these says content not available yet.
Right. Keep scrolling down all the way to the bottom.
Oh, it's like it's still making them. Is
Yeah,
that the
those.
deal?
So they kept
Okay, I gotcha.
300 out of that drop
Nice,
that
here
they
we
could do giveaways and stuff like that. But yeah, if you look down at the bottom, I mean, look at that.
Wow.
Super colorful,
So
really
cool,
cool,
so cool.
great looking stuff. Yeah,
See, yeah,
and if
we're
you
gonna have
click
to talk to him about the process.
So
It's gonna be
click
fun.
on one of them, and you'll see. So right there. So this is like the actual like 3D
Yeah.
GLTF,
We can move it
thing.
around.
Now, go down a little bit, and you can see the full image. Oh my gosh, the full image. No, go up. There's a little link right below the description that says full image. Then you click on that and see. Then you get the full image NFT if this actually shows up.
Yeah, that might take it a second.
And
don't know.
OpenSea's been really slow today.
It has
so,
been.
I don't know.
I noticed
It's
that.
stupid.
Yeah.
How do they bloody generate that many things?
I don't know the exact way that he does it, but I mean, they've all got individual ears, they've got individual faces, they got individual mouths and individual eyes. And so you create multiple different versions of all these things. And then through some Python
I can't
coding.
understand how would you go around the still or pre-rendered sequence, but that was a 3D thing.
Yeah.
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 He's got a program he's using and all
Yeah,
of this.
I don't know.
He said he'd come on the show like next year after January and talk about the process, because I was like bombarding him with questions about like how this is done, and
it's
like,
really cool.
There's
very,
a program
very cool
to do the
stuff.
3D. There's a program to make sure that it's not making anything that's too similar. There's all this Python code that somebody helped him with, and it seems like it went well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh boy,
cool
look who's
stuff.
here.
Oh boy, look who it is.
Hey Matt,
What's
I
up,
heard Hen is
Dorpy?
gone, but I'll give you some words of advice on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's an old saying that goes, "Don't put your dog in a baseball game because he'll get walked."
I don't get it.
Just think about it for a minute.
Right.
It'll make sense later. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm sure everybody's going to move over to my new platform anyway when it launches. It's going to be called Pavlog. Does that name ring a bell?
Oh, it's making me salivate.
Yeah. Anyway, I got to go. Got some friends and we're getting together online. We're going to play some PUBG.
Oh gosh.
Okay, bye.
Terrible. That was bad.
Well, at least the pig wasn't here this week, right?
At least the pig. Maybe. I don't know. Is the pig coming?
Those pig jokes. Yeah,
Right.
maybe next time. We'll see. Did we cover it? Man, that was a lot for the drop today. That was a long show. So
yeah, let's go back to the regular show. For anyone who has any drops, if you want to shill it on the show, feel free to reach out to us, info@mograph.com, and we'll give it a looky-loo.
All right.
30 people left the chat. That's hilarious.
Right. Let's go back to the regular show. Here we go.
Go back to the regular show.
Drop. Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.